right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Train Sim World live stream. It's Train Sim World 2, not Train Sim World. Train Sim World 2. We are going to be on the DBBR 112.1. We're going to do the semi-fast service going from the Finnentrop station to Hagen. Let's get in here and get our locomotive set up and be on our way. Hopefully everybody's having a good Sunday. Alright. Brake key on. Get the reverser in. Let's get our, make sure we get our lights on. Need the cab light, I don't believe. Instrument lights on. Let me put the desk light on. That should be more than enough. Alright, let's get underway here. Just get moving. I think we'll worry about PZB and all that today. That's the wipers. Let's have a look outside, make sure we got some. Okay, the lights are on. Perfect. Morning, Mick. How are you? Make sure we're not missing anything else. Power obviously is on. Train lights, let's put those on. There we go. Now I think we're all set. Ooh, a little bit of speeding. Let's see how. Morning, Patrick. How are you? Yeah, we've got a DOS toss behind us. Ooh, that is a full train. Look at that. Wow. We have a full train, it looks like. Very cool. I don't think I've ever seen it that full before. I don't think we have the means of putting in the station information here. I think that's got to be done. I don't think you can do it even in here. I think you got to go back to the other end and put it in. If we get to Plettenberg at a reasonable amount of time, I think we'll be okay. We can maybe be able to run to the other end and put the destination of Hagen in on the PIS for our passengers. Right now we don't have any. It says we are not in service, basically. So, I tinkered around yesterday. I tried. So after the stream ended, I did try the service with the on the 2021 time schedule without PZB enabled, and the train still wouldn't move. So I'm guessing there's just a problem overall with that timetable. Not sure if or when that'll be fixed. I'm sure it will be, I just don't know when. I don't know that I kind of think rapid transit's one of those routes that's kind of gone to the wayside. So a lot of people, there may not be anybody else that's aware of the issue that has reported it to Dovetail Games, I don't think. But it seemed like from what Amela said that they were aware of it as an issue, so I don't know. But anyway, I was able to complete it was just over an hour long. I did a flight in the Cessna, like their kind of version of the Learjet, the CJ4 or whatever. So it's a very fast plane to fly. Like climbing, it just zips right up to the altitude. Like you can, and it's easy to overspeed very quickly in that plane. So I did a flight from Savannah to Nashville, and it was it wasn't bad. It was just I was cruising at 18,000 feet for most of the flight. Then all of a sudden they tell me to go to 24,000. I'm like, okay, well, fine, I'll go to 24,000. But then I'm looking at my display, and pretty soon we're going to get ready to start going into our pattern. We're supposed to start getting ready to land. Oh, wow. George Russell, good for him. Hello, Mr. Adams. So I start to see. I'm thinking, I got to start reducing my altitude, because I can't wait for air traffic to tell me to start going down in altitude. So I start dropping altitude. Of course, air traffic control goes into all kinds of fits. Oh, you need to be up at this altitude. Go back to this, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good. And a minute later, they hand me off to approach, and then they're like, oh, go ahead and start reducing altitude. And I'm like, see? So, yeah, it was a very, but I was able to, I got everything lined up. It was fine. No issues whatsoever. So, yeah, it was a fun service. It was a fun. Oops. Really slow down here. I'm going to be speeding. So yeah, that was over 300 miles flight. So I got my achievement for flying 3 different types of aircraft. You have a prop, a jet, and a jetliner. Flights at least 300 miles or more. So I got that knocked out. Yeah. So we'll see how the Dreamliner, if we can load it up and continue on with the flight. I really don't know how the save feature works, if it's just the flight plan that's saved, or if it's like I'm saved mid-air, I'm in the air already and we're, into the flight plan. So we'll find out at 9 o'clock this morning what the deal is. And then we'll go from there. It's a really nice German countryside kind of here. There's our beautiful 112. Now I'm curious to see. Now the time of the service is morning time. Ooh, oh boy. I wasn't paying attention to our think we'll be okay though. Now, curious to see how many passenger animations we see. We're a little bit early, but not by much. Ooh, that was a good stop. Alright, let's get the doors unlocked. Alright, let's run back to the other. Ooh, that's quite a few people coming off the train there. Wow, I cannot get past the... Well, they're not making it easy to... It's like rush hour, that's for sure. You can't get anywhere. You're running into every... There we go. Okay, let's get in here. Let's see if we can put the let's see here. Destination... I'm going to be late now. There it is. Okay. Get on my way, door. I have to run back here now to lock the doors. All right. There we go. Oops. Now. There we go. Okay. Good morning, Pithers. Good morning, Bex. Or, I thought I saw Pithers. Good morning, Bex. Brakes look good on this train. I thought you looked so fast. Yeah, I know, huh? The sunburned lady. Well, I think I did, Mick. I don't know really how the whole system works as far as, you know, when you save a... It seems like it saves the flight plan, but I don't quite know for sure. We won't know until I go in there and try it. I didn't want to try before and then it crashes everything and then, you know, I lose all that information. So, I mean, if we have to take off again anyway, that's okay, you know, so that's perfectly fine with me. But I don't really know what to expect, how their save system works. If it's, you know, kind of like here, I can save the service if something happens and I can come back to it later. You know, I already know how the save system works in Train Sim World 2. I don't know what quite to expect on Flight Simulator. So, yeah. Alright, we got our passenger stuff updated now. It doesn't... I don't think the PIS board on here works for whatever reasons, and I don't know if that's something they're going to add later on, but at least we got our... We are a regional express service to Hagen. So Verdol is next. hopefully everybody's doing well today. Enjoying their Sunday morning / nearly afternoon. At least you know the lights are on. Pretty well lit. I got Pulse, little girl, I'm tired already. I like it, Mick. I think the overall there's a lot. The graphics I think are much smoother. I mean, there's a few hiccups here and there, but it's nothing. I don't think it's anything too serious. You know, it's not. It's not like. For me, it's not a deal breaker or anything where I feel like, okay, I'm going to stay away from this game for a while until, you know. But I think one of the things, and I think they kind of talked about this in the most recent roadmap, and maybe more so in the live stream of the roadmap, is that there was a lot of things that that's happening that I don't think that they were quite prepared for. You know, and very well may be that on rapid transit, for instance, they may not be aware. Or maybe they are. I think they are based on what Amela said. It was, you know, that they're aware of some of the issues, so it's going to take time for some of that stuff to get sorted. The flight went well, Bex. Yeah, me too, Patrick. As far as the, what do you call it? The, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes, the flight went well. We flew through some inclement weather. We had some thunderstorms and all that. We got above the clouds and everything, but we landed, no issues. So yeah, it went really well, I think. Overall, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, really good stuff. The flight was awesome. Yeah, it was, and I mean, we had some really good lightning strikes around the aircraft. I mean, it just lit up, and yeah, it was really good. We So yeah, you missed out. It was a really awesome flight. I mean, we didn't change the weather, and well, I mean, I think I changed it for if we do the Dreamliner, if we are able to continue that flight to Seattle, the weather, of course, is going to be nice and calm and all that. But yeah, I wanted to try it in a way that we can show that we can make it through the on inclement weather, and it's not a problem. All right, Limata. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was amazing. Although Mick was like, "Can we get above the clouds?" I feel a little nervous. Well, yeah, we got above the clouds, but we had some really cool lightning around us, and yeah, it was. You could hear the thunder as well. Mick said he could hear it very clearly. So yeah, it was a good time. So yeah, the whole area there is getting ready to get pummeled by the tropical storm that's now, I guess, turned into a hurricane. I was talking to my dad yesterday, and they're expecting to get hit pretty hard in Birmingham. How bad, they don't know quite yet. But they're already have told people be prepared. So yeah, I going back to what Patrick said about the few bugs here and there. I mean, overall, I think it's, despite the issues with the old gen consoles and everything that happened with that, I do feel like overall it's a success. Of course, that success is a bit marred by some issues that I don't think they could have foreseen. Yeah. Yep, we even had double rainbows. It's quite amazing. Yeah, we landed, no real major issues, and fired the numpty clearance at the right time, and we landed, and it was okay. But yeah, I think overall it's a huge success. Is it perfect? No. Do I expect perfection? No, because if I do, I'm always going to be disappointed. And that's what I think, one of the things that a lot of these folks that are still coming in to like Joe's streams and just, always fussing, oh, this isn't fair, and I don't like this, and blah, blah, they're complaining to complain. They're not, to me, they're not complaining to, that they have a, what do you call it? Any kind of a, they don't take anything with any kind of reason, or they just, their reason is, oh, I expected this and it didn't happen, and, now I'm going to stomp up and down, and, exactly, Nick. So yeah, I'm guessing, areas where my dad lives is going to be without power for probably a few days or maybe up to a week. So, yeah. And of course, some of that will head north, and by the time it gets here, it'll just be a severe storm. It'll have lost its power. But if it heads back out into the Atlantic, I think it could easily regain its strength, and we could be looking at some serious problems. But you got all your roots back. That's good, Joseph. So, but yeah, I think that overall that the update's been good. Again, I don't think they could have foreseen a lot of the issues that they've had to end up dealing with, because a lot of this stuff, a lot of times it's all unknown. They're trying something, they're trying to update the Unreal Engine and improve the graphics and everything, because otherwise, what's the point of investing in a new system if your graphics are on the older generation sort of settings? I didn't buy an Xbox Series S for older graphics. I bought it for what I'm seeing now. Already the game looked good, but I think it looks even better. The lighting is better. I keep saying it, it's everything looks crisper. And that's, to me, is the important part. Whereas I don't know Joseph, on the other hand, Mr. Adams, I don't know that he's going to see any kind of significant improvement on an older generation console. He might see some improvements, but I really don't know how, because I think they said early on that this update was mainly for next gen console owners. That was the target. And if you didn't quite understand what that really meant, most people, when you buy a newer console, everything looks a lot better. They always talk about the new games coming out and all that. So it should have been no surprise, really. But again, we're in different times where access to a new gen console is not as easy as it was in the past. Largely in due part to lack of resources. They can't make enough consoles to get them out there for everybody. But also you have the scalpers who are snatching up the PlayStation 5s. And then selling them for twice the going rate, or almost 3 times the going rate. It hit the same date as Katrina did, but the storm was further down. I didn't know that. Yeah, I remember when Katrina hit, I was right in the middle of trying to go to Little Rock, Arkansas for 2 weeks for a class that I was required to do to be a guidance counselor for the Army National Guard. But then they wanted me to go to New Orleans instead, and I'm like, well, I'm supposed to be going to Arkansas. It was just a big old mess. Not that I think I would have. I wasn't a medic at the time, but what was I going to do in New Orleans? So I don't know. It was it was just a big mess. That's the only thing that makes me worried about living, in some of those areas. It's very, with these storms, it can get very messy, and if you don't have a place with a generator, where did everybody go? So it says I only have one viewer. I guess where'd everybody disappear to? Oh yeah, it's quite a weird situation. I feel bad for people who just, you know, they can't, just like in California, there's all these fires and people can't afford to rebuild, but they don't want to leave. You know, they want to continue to live there and rebuild there, which is their prerogative. So, anyways. Yeah, it's all right. Still making our way towards Mata. Is it Mata? I think I'm pronouncing that right. Is it because property is cheaper there? Well, in Alabama, it used to be. My dad was saying that now rent there is even skyrocketed, and a lot of people have been evicted from their apartments, for instance, or the eviction moratorium has ended. The Supreme Court has basically said it's unconstitutional. You're not helping these landlords, so now you're creating a whole nother problem. And I get that the landlords want their money, but so you kick people out of their apartments. They're already struggling as it is. Maybe they're only working one job and that's part-time. They're trying to do the best they can, but now you kick them out because they owe back rent and they're trying to get caught up. But now they don't have a place, or if they don't have a job at all, now they don't have an address to put down on a job application. You know, so, but yes, the housing, depending on where you are, houses are very cheap there in Birmingham. Property, you get, you know, a house with a little bit of land sometimes, whatnot. But then you have, and the taxes are cheap there. But now everything, all the prices have gone up, you know. So, they were talking about, it's insane. So even affordable places now, it's almost going away, for whatever reasons, you know. But, you know, so now you have all these people that are just sitting out in front of apartment buildings. They don't have no place to go, really. So people are already scared as it is, and things are already messed up as it is, but now you have an even larger problem with this kicking people out of apartments. And now you've created a whole nother problem. You know, so I think it's a very kind of a precarious situation to be in. So yeah, I don't know what's, you know. But that's interesting because I guess it's a state, you know, because here I think if you get evicted, there's an eviction court, but the courts are going to be so backed up that, you know, it's going to take a while for them to get that whole thing sorted even. We will be here on time. That's good. Oh boy, these brakes are really solid. There we go. Get our max points there. But yeah, you know, where my dad lives, you know, the houses there are really nice. It's a pretty nice little neighborhood. But it's, you know, a lot of areas aren't nearly as nice as his. You know, and he's centrally located. You know, he can get to pretty much whatever he needs. It's not very far for him to drive to get to the store or whatever. Although it's harder for him to get around now because he's got a bad hip. So. All right. All right, coming to Hagen. Our next stop, our final stop along the way here. We'll slow down the time. No evacuation order as of yet. I think maybe more so along like the Mobile coast, you know, like the Gulf of Mexico part of Alabama has probably been evacuated, but generally by the time it gets to where he lives, some of the steam is kind of run out because he's inland from the coast, so usually, I mean, they'll get pounded, but it's the storm has kind of lost its momentum, you know. So I think he'll be fine. I mean, this isn't the first one he's had to go through, so you know he's without power for some time. He just has, you know, stuff that he can make without a stove or whatever, I guess, in order to eat. Just kind of have a look there. There's our destination there. So, but my mom and stepdad, on the other hand, they did have to leave the lake for a while because of the fires, and they just were able to go back up there earlier in the week, which I didn't know because I kept calling them. I didn't know that they were at the lake because I thought something had happened to them again. And you know, when the fire in Paradise happened, it took, you know, it took a few days or more than a few days for me to get a hold of them again. You know, it reminded me when I was in Germany and the earthquake happened in '89, and it took a while to get, you know, of course nobody had cell phones back then, but it took forever to finally get a hold of them to find out if they were okay. So I was worried, and then I called my mom on her cell phone because I'm like, well, if they're not answering the house phone, at least my mom would have her cell phone with her. And, oh, yeah, we're back up the lake. And I'm like, wow, it would have been nice if you had sent me a message or something saying, hey, we're going back to the lake. Because I'm starting to get worried that something happened to you guys again. You know, that you had to leave Magalia. So, yeah. But then, you know, but they don't think about that. But heaven forbid if I don't call, you know, all hell breaks loose. But as my mom always says, a little email goes a long way. Well, come on, Mom, try taking your own advice sometimes. Getting their own back on us when... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you're right, Nick. Absolutely. Well, I do appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out this morning. If you have a moment, please smash the thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it. It doesn't cost a dime, or even a nickel or a penny. It's absolutely free to hit the like button. We'll be back in a couple hours or so, probably about an hour and a half by the time we get to Hagen, because we got to go all the way up here and then back around into Hagen. So we still got a bit of distance to cover. And then we'll take a little break, and then we will be back on Microsoft Flight Simulator at 9. Hopefully, continuing the flight to Seattle in the Dreamliner, or if we just have to start all over again, that's okay. If we have to taxi out and take off and all that, we'll do that. It's all good, and go from there. Should be a lovely flight either way. We'll start off, it'll be kind of early morning, it'll still be a little bit dark, but come say hello if you're lurking. We are lovely people, really we are. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe the lurkers are I don't know. I can only speculate, but it's all good. Now notice before, if you watch this on the replay, back here it said we were at 4.8 miles, and now we've gone 5.8. So that's what leads me to believe that it's a straight line. If we could cut across and right to our, when we were here, we were closer, obviously, to our destination. So that's what leads me to believe that it's not we're not following a, the track sort of thing where it gives us an accurate account of the distance to our next stop a lot of times. So it's easy to think, oh, I'm right there, it's going to be, I'll be there in a moment, and then you look at the map, you're like, oh, maybe not. So, hello, Ryan. Welcome. This has been a fun service. Figured to do a little bit of passenger stuff. Ooh. Hit that pole pretty hard. Alright, we've got a red coming up outside of our destination. Let's start really slowing down here. Oh wait, no, it is short of our destination there. Must be another train, something moving? Okay, there was something cutting across our tracks, leaving. Okay, let's get back on the throttle here. I wasn't expecting that. That headache thing got him off for 2 weeks. Oh, nice. Well, hopefully you enjoy your time off, Ryan. Try to make up a little bit of ground here, since we had to slow down because of that red. Not that we had to, but it was the sensible thing to do. End up going back to sleep. Oh, nothing wrong with that. It's always a good thing. Take a rest. Drop that speed really quick. Coast on in here. There we are. Ooh. Oh, I unlocked the wrong doors. I saw a platform to the right. I just automatically went to the right. The real platform's on the left. There we go. Are you two gonna walk? What's going on here? I'm just standing there. Oh well, whatever. Yeah. Off because you're on holiday. Nice. Oh, maybe you drive down and see Richard again while you're on holiday. There we go. Don't even have to lock the doors again. Amazing. Well, there we go. Nice gold medal. Ta-da. Anyway, that is going to be it for now. Never seen a double decker. Yeah. Oh, you have it, Bex. The Dostos. Yeah. That's their, matter of fact, we can free roam for a moment. Yeah, that is their double decker sort of train. The train I rode on when I went to California, the gallery cab cars, whether it's the Nippon or even the bi-level, you have 2 levels, and then usually you also have an area that's specifically designed for bikes. You can put them in on the train, but yeah, so. I do like being on the upper part because you get a little bit of a better view. Yeah. So, could see him tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm off down to Cornwall. Oh, okay. So yeah, you could drive. I'll do a service sometime from the other end, maybe on one of the other German routes. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We'll do a service from this end going somewhere so that you kind of see how it operates from this end here. So yeah, we can do that tomorrow. Actually, we can do another regional service. So yeah, so we want this. If we do, so you have a 767.2 and I think a 767.1. Let's see. Matter of fact, let's take a look real quick before we go. That clear water, yeah. Let's see if we have. We got a minute or two. We don't have to go right away. I can. So if we do like Hamburg to Lübeck, if we do that tomorrow, for instance. So I think it's this one. So you have, it's a 766.2. So if we have the 767.2, which I think is the one that's supposed to be on this route, we could do a service from Hamburg to Lübeck, and we can do a regional service from Bad Oldesloe to Hamburg. Yeah, we could do that. That'd be a good. I mean, that's 40 minutes tomorrow. Yeah, actually, that'll work out good because I got an appointment downtown. Yeah, the new. It does look a lot better, I think. Yeah, so remember, only Train Sim World 2 tomorrow. No Flight Sim. So yeah, only trains tomorrow. Only one stream. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I will see you all in about an hour.